You've heard the quote, you are the sum of the five people you spend the most time with. Your habits, your income, your lifestyle, your mindset, all an average of these five people. Well, what does the Bible have to say about that quote? Well, King Solomon in Proverbs, he wrote this. He said, "The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray." So Solomon clearly knew the weight of who we select as our friends. So the question now becomes, what do we look for in godly community? What do we look for in our friends? And most of us, we hear that quote, you are the sum of the five people you spend the most time with, and we say, well, I better find some like-minded community, some people like me. Well, that's not right. We don't need like-minded community. The problem with like-minded community is you put 10 heroin addicts in a room, and that's not good for anyone, right? So we don't need people who are going to affirm us in our sin, affirm us in our wicked ways. We need people who are going to call us higher. We need Christ-minded community. And Solomon lays this out in Proverbs of what to look for in a friend. So I'm going to walk you through 4 traits of godly friendships. Who are those people you need to be surrounding yourself with? And then we're going to talk about getting out of the old community you find yourself in. What does that need to look like, ridding your life of old friendships? And how can we best go about that? So trait number 1 that you need to be looking for in a friend is someone who is wise, someone with wisdom. Proverbs says this, it says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. And now, when we think of wise, maybe you're thinking of intelligence, someone who is smart. Well, not necessarily. The Bible in Proverbs 9, verse 10, it says, fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in good judgment. So wisdom is actually someone who is God-fearing. So first thing you need to be looking for in a friend in your godly community, are they God-fearing? That will in turn be the beginning and the foundation of wisdom in their life. So number 1, God-fearing. Number 2, Proverbs says this in 17:17. It says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. So we need to find friends that are loyal. A friend loves at all times. Not when things are good, not just when things are bad, all the ups and downs and in-betweens. You need a friend that is consistently loyal in your life, especially a brother takes that relationship deeper in the Proverbs in a time of adversity. Do your friends just want to ride with you when you're at the mountaintop, or are they willing to step in when your life is getting hard? You need a friend that is loyal. The third piece we need is a friend that is mature. Get this. Proverbs says, gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. So we need friends who are mature, that we can speak in confidence with them, and they're not going to go air out our struggles, air out our mail. We need a secure friendship, a space that is safe to be vulnerable, to share the things we're struggling with, right? To be mature and be a grown adult and go about business in that way. A lot of us have experienced relationships where you tell your friend something, and next thing you know, the whole community knows about it. Those are not the types of relationships we need. We need mature friendships. And let's carry on to the last prominent trait that Proverbs really lays out. A friend that is challenging. One of my favorite verses of all time, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Proverbs 27:17. And get this, better is open rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but an enemy multiplies kisses. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, meaning that you are going to go through hard times with your friends. They're going to have to call you out on your crap. Who are those people in your life that hold you accountable, that challenge you to grow, that sharpen you. They're the iron that sharpens iron. It takes two. If you take iron and you chop at a tree, that blade is going to get dull. So you don't need wood in your life. You need other people who are iron. Iron sharpening iron, right? People who are going to hold you accountable, call you higher, and that's going to create some ups and downs in a relationship. It's going to create some wounds in a relationship that take mending, take healing, but all that process is going to create a solid foundation where you have rock solid community in your life. So to quickly go back through those 4 traits, and then we'll get into what it looks like getting out of your current community and how to go about that. Wisdom, aka God-fearing, loyal, mature, and challenging. Now let's talk about what the Bible says about the current relationships or past relationships that we have. Well, 2 Corinthians, Paul makes it very clear that we are not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So light has no room negotiating with darkness is what it says. And so we are not to be in partnerships, friendships, marriages with people that are unbelievers, right? Now, am I saying that, oh, we're better than everyone else, we're walking with Jesus, we're Christian? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Jesus sat with sinners because he said that it is the sick that need a doctor, not the healthy. So we are to evangelize and share the doctor, aka Jesus, not us, the doctor with people who are also sick. We're going to get to say, hey, I've dealt with that illness and I got a doctor who has the cure for you. So we are to evangelize and share our faith with unbelievers. But it doesn't mean they're our closest knit community. They're not our business partners. They're not the people we're marrying. They're not the friends that are deeply entrenched in life with us. This is an important distinction. And so if you find yourself in community right now with some friendships you've had for a while, they're okay people, but you just know that they're not the godly people walking with wisdom, loyalty, maturity, and being the iron that sharpens your iron. Well, what are the conversations you need to have? Well, you need to set boundaries and expectations. So what that looks like is having a respectable conversation with them. And if you can't do this from the jump, then you need to just cut them out entirely. But likely you can sit down and have a respectable conversation. They're going to respect you, right? And you're going to lay out, hey, Tom, I have XYZ goal in my life. I am done with ABC. I'm done with smoking. I'm done with drinking. I'm done with whatever, right? And instead, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be in church every single Sunday. And I'm going to start reading my Bible every day, okay? That is what I'm going to do. And now the expectations I have for you and our friendship is that you're going to stop inviting me out on Friday nights because I'm no longer participating. And I'm just going to make that clear. I'm no longer participating on the Friday nights. I'm going to be in bed early so I can be up Saturday morning to work out. You know, whatever the conversation has to look like in the specifics, right? And you're just communicating. You're no longer going to invite me to these things because I just can't keep doing it, man. I'm done with it, right? And I expect your support and encouragement in these things I'm doing. As a matter of fact, you're invited to anything that I am a part of. Why? Because I love you as a person, right? So Saturday morning, you want to come work out? Great. Sunday, I'm going to be at church at this time. You want to join? Great, right? I'm going to be reading my Bible every day. You want to come over a couple times a week and read with me? Awesome. I would love to have you at a close relationship in my life. But these are the expectations. Why? Because I'm done living as this old version of me and I'm ready to grow. And you're going to see how they respond to that conversation. If they respond in a vulnerable way, you know what, man? I've been trying to overcome these things. It's been difficult, but I'm done with this way of life as well. I'm all in. I'm with you. Let's do this thing, right? Now, that's great. And see their commitment, see their consistency, recommunicate those expectations, recommunicate, hey, what are we doing, man? You're inviting me back on a Friday night, right? You're going to give them so many strikes until they have to be cut out or distanced in your life. Now, if they commit and they're growing alongside you, great. You probably just found a friend for life, and that's amazing, right? And then you'll see beyond that, however they respond to the conversation, you'll see how they operate from that point forward. Are they inviting you out on Friday night and breaking those expectations? Are they not supporting you? Are they not getting involved in any of the growth-oriented things that you're doing? Great. That's okay. It's nothing but love and mutual respect, but they're no longer in this tight-knit circle. Your time, your energy, your effort has to go to people who are God-fearing and doing these things that are going to grow you into the person you want to become. So it's literally sitting down with love and respect and having a difficult but very clear conversation. You're laying out clear expectations. You're not doing anything to spite them. You're not judging their lifestyle. You're simply saying, I'm done being this way and I want to be this way. I need your support in these ways. If you do that, great. Our friendship's going to thrive. If not, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to go my own direction because I can't keep doing this. Nothing against you. I just can't keep doing this, right? So that is what the hard conversation needs to look like. And now the Bible talks about this. In 1 Peter chapter 4, these verses were very eye-opening to me. Peter, he says this, he says, your former friends are surprised when you no longer plunge into the flood of wild and destructive things they do. So they slander you. But remember that they will have to face God. So he lays it out very clear. They're surprised when you're no longer going out, partying, drinking, smoking, whatever, doing all the things that you used to do or they're still doing. So they slander you. So when you get slandered, and it's likely to happen, just be ready. The Bible makes it very clear. So they slander you, right? And I want to share a verse that you can take heart in. Jesus says, here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows. Your friends that you thought were really close slandering you, it's going to feel like a trial and sorrow, right? He says, but take heart because I have overcome the world. That is John 16, verse 33. Take heart, for I have overcome the world. He's saying, stay focused on me. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and the rest shall be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. So when these things happen, you come to the scriptures, you find that godly community, and you lean into people who are going to be loyal in your life and be a counsel of wisdom so that you can yourself become wise. Okay? Hope all this is making sense. So I want to encourage you guys, and you probably already are doing this, but audit your circle. Ask yourself, write it down. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are they sharpening you? Are they growing you? Maybe it's not in the comfortable way you want, right? But if they're making you uncomfortable in a good way, holding you accountable and challenging you, that's the type of person you need to have around you in your life. So I hope that this helps you find good, godly community. If you're needing to find that community, just looking for those relationships, where do I find those types of people? Our platform is going to be a great place to get connected with godly community around the world. So you can go check that out in the link in the description. We're rolling out a new app for building godly community globally. So it's going to be a hub for people to come, get connected, be discipled, grow in their faith, and do all sorts of things. So go check that out. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. God bless.